Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we talked about listening skill. So today we are moving on to the next skill, which is speaking. Check for the link in my description box for the last video, which is on listening. So let's move on to the topic of the day. Like I said, we are moving on to the second skill, which is speaking. Let's define what the speaking is all about. So the first outline that will be considered today is what is speaking, what is speaking. The second outline, why is speaking proficiency so important? Proficiency so important. The third outline will be aspects of speaking skills. Speaking skills. So this is what we'll be considering today. What is speaking? Why is speaking proficiency so important? Aspects of speaking skills. So let's move to the first aspect, which is speaking. What is speaking? Everybody speaks, and we speak for different reasons. When we speak, we express ideas, we express information, we express opinion to the listener, and many other things we express. But how do we express it? In a clear, logical, and engaging manner. Engaging manner. This is what speaking entails. When we speak, we express ideas, we express information, we express opinion. How do we express ourselves? In a clear, logical, and engaging manner. When all these items are missing in any speech we make, it renders the speech useless. And I'm sure no one wants to be speaking to himself or herself when nobody is able to connect with what you are saying. So remember, when you are speaking, ensure your ideas, your information, your opinion you're expressing are all expressed in a clear, logical, and engaging manner. We have several other definitions of what speaking is all about, how we speak to this. So remember to note these points when speaking. It must be clear, it must be logical to the listener or to the audience you are talking to. So next, why is speaking proficiency so important? I'm sure you have asked yourself this question. Why must I master the speaking skill? Why is it so important when I'm speaking to the audience? I must be proficient. There are so many reasons for being proficient in speaking, anytime we are speaking. Number one idea is it enhances effective communication. So effective communication becomes enhanced when we attach proficiency to what we are speaking. It enhances our communication. How do I mean by that? When we speak, it must be effective to the hearer. It must be well expressed so that people become connected. People listening to you become connected to what you're saying. And the feedback, of course, gives you an assurance that you're actually passing out information that audience can connect with. The next thing is it helps us to achieve persuasion. Persuasion. It helps us to achieve persuasion. What do I mean by persuasion? It means convincing people to believe in what you're saying, to connect with what you're saying, and to actually agree to what you're saying. So another point here, why speaking proficiently is so important is because it helps us to persuade people, to convince people that what I'm saying I actually understand, and you want others to actually believe in what you're saying. So proficiency helps us to, in our persuasion, in various ways we choose to persuade using our speeches and our conversation. So the third reasons why proficiency must be attained when speaking, in speaking skills, is information are well transmitted. Transmission of information. Transmission of information will be done appropriately. Transmission of information will be done appropriately. Communication ensures that ideas shared and opinions shared are appropriately passed across. Remember what communication is? Communication involves the listener, the message, and the medium through which the message is passed across. When these lines are not broken, then we can say communication has been achieved. So, we speak to attain proficiency, to attain effective communication, to persuade others, to convince others of the reason of our speeches, and also for proper transmission of information, which will be carried out appropriately. We have so many other reasons why we speak, but these are the general reasons why proficiency in speaking must be achieved. So it helps us to connect, and it fosters better understanding when we are speaking. So I will put it like this: it fosters better understanding when speaking. So I will challenge you henceforth. Anytime we engage in public speaking, could be a teacher, could be a learner, could be anywhere, a places of worship, or at anywhere you might find yourself. Anytime you stand to speak, could be your friend, make sure your ideas are appropriately passed across for proper engagement, for persuasion, to foster better understanding, and for proper transmission of the message you are trying to pass across. So these are very, very important when we speak. So we are moving on to the next outline, which is, I hope you are following, and I want to believe you are with your pen and writing pad, jotting out some important information being passed across. Another aspect under speaking skill is aspects of speaking skill. We have what we call aspects of speaking skill. Let me clean the board appropriately for proper vision. I hope you are with me. We call it aspects of speaking skills. What are the things to consider? After we have known the definition of what speaking is all about and how to attain proficiency, we are moving on to the aspect. The first aspect here to be considered under speaking skill includes pronunciation. The second, fluency. The third, grammar. The fourth, vocabulary. And the fifth, we have as comprehension. aspects of speaking skills: pronunciation, the fluency, the grammar, the vocabulary, and the comprehension. So we'll be looking at the first one briefly, which is pronunciation. Of course, we'll be looking at pronunciation. So what is pronunciation? It is when utterances of words are clearly spoken. Also, it includes those aspects of speech which are segmental articulation, rhythm, intonation, and sometimes body language and body contact. So all these segments all operate under pronunciation. So speaking, when next you are speaking, make sure you pay attention to all this. Your intonation talks about how high or low the tone of your voice is. Your body language, very important when speaking. Your body contact, your segmental articulation, and the rhythm. Pay attention to all this when speaking. The second aspect we'll be looking at again will be fluency. Fluency simply means clarity of your speech. How clear your speech is. It means to express language, whatever language you're speaking, orally. To express language orally without mistakes. Without what? Mistakes. When you express language orally without mistakes, it's regarded to as fluency, because expression enhances your fluency. When you express clearly, it enhances your fluency. The third aspect we'll be considering again, I believe you have noted all these points I've written under pronunciation, which is one of the aspects of speaking skill. The third aspect we'll be talking about under speaking is grammar. What is grammar? These are rules that allows us to structure sentences. The combination of your nouns, your verbs, either in the simple form, in the past form, or past participle form. So how words combine to form sentences clearly and correctly is what is known as grammar. So when speaking or writing, there are rules that guide sentence structure. Whether you're talking about sentences in the simple form, in the past form, in the past participle form, these are rules that structures our speeches and properly combined together. And we cannot talk about grammar without referring to parts of speech. Your noun, your verb, your pronoun, your adverb, your adjectives, your prepositions, and conjunctions inclusively. Now the fourth aspect we'll be talking about will be your vocabulary. Your vocabulary. Your vocabulary is the building block of all speeches, because it is the appropriation use of words properly and clearly. It refers to as the building blocks of everything you say as a speaker. Building blocks of speaking. How do you use your words? There's what we call the choice of words you use when speaking or writing. So your vocabulary is very, very important. You want people to listen to you. The choice of words you decide to use plays a long way. You want to retain the attention of your speakers, of your listeners, you pay attention to your vocabulary. The choice of words may include the type of people you are speaking to, their level of education, their level of exposure, and all that. So be mindful of what your building blocks are when speaking. The last is the comprehension. The comprehension aspect of speaking skills. The very essence of any speech is to make sense. It's not making sense, then it's of no use. So comprehension tells us that speakers' understanding plays a crucial role when speaking. Speakers' understanding plays a crucial role when speaking. What is said in order to avoid ambiguity or misunderstanding of information. Try and avoid ambiguity. Try and avoid ambiguity. Make sure your listeners comprehend, properly understand what you're saying. And of course, when your grammar is in proper place, your sentences are properly put together, your vocabulary, your choice of words are properly built, then another aspect is your comprehension. Make sure you avoid ambiguity, avoid contradiction, make sure your listeners understand you properly. So your speaker's understanding refers to as comprehension. Now moving on to the next topic under speaking, we'll be looking at how to improve when speaking. How to improve your speaking. How to improve your speaking skills. The first thing here we'll be looking at will be pronounce your words. Pronounce words correctly. Pronounce words correctly. Your choice of words must be properly pronounced. Like I said, these are your building blocks of speaking. It gives your listeners the proper attention needed. It captivates your listeners. They want to listen to more of what you're saying when your words are properly pronounced. When you're talking, you're making speeches in a gathering to an audience, make sure your words are properly pronounced. You can cross-check your words before speaking, how it is pronounced at all platforms. Another thing is listen to spoken English of different accents. Listen to spoken English of different accents. Different accents. What do I mean by that? When we're younger, or when you're young, we have various ways whereby people speak to us to captivate our attention. As an adult, we have a larger audience to speak to. So make sure you listen to speakers of different accents, podcasts, interviews. It helps a lot. Listen to radio, listen to television, listen to interviews. Listen to content that engages you, that is of interest, that engages you. Diverse topics on radio, on podcasts. It helps you to improve your speaking skills. Learn how words are pronounced as well. Another thing is reading aloud. Reading aloud. This also helps you. You read aloud. Probably record yourself so as to listen to yourself and see how well you have pronounced, how well you have actually attained proficiency when speaking. It boosts, when you read aloud, it boosts your confidence, it boosts your vocabulary for effective communication. Another point to be noted here is speak to strangers. Speak to strangers. Speak to strangers. People outside your community, speak to them. Listen to how they make use of words. It helps when opportunity arises. You're in a conference, speak to other people, unknown people in such gatherings. It helps you a lot. It goes a long way. The fifth one will be practice public speaking. Practice public speaking. This helps a lot. Delivering messages in front of informal gathering or even formal gatherings. You deliver speeches, let them listen to you. It ultimately tests your level of communication. By improving your speaking skills, you will engage many benefits of professionalism. Professionally and personally, you are engaging yourself, you are improving through public speaking. So, I think the last one will be, just like I said, by improving your speaking skills, you will enjoy many benefits professionally. In terms of career boosts, speaking efficiently boosts your career. You're able to stand in front of people. In terms of your job, depending on your job description, you're able to express yourself, engage people with meaningful conversation, not becoming ambiguous in your speeches or contradicting yourself. We've discussed so much today on speaking skill. We discussed the meaning of speaking. We discussed the aspects of speaking. The essence of this teaching is to help improve on our speaking skill. How do we improve? Like I said earlier, listen to podcasts, listen to different people, different from your accents and tones. Read aloud. When you read aloud, it boosts your confidence. Aside that, be careful of your vocabulary usage. The level of people you are speaking to matters a lot. Are they high profile or low profile? It goes a long way in choosing your choice of words. Speak to strangers, just like I mentioned below. So this is what we're discussing today. I believe you have learned one or two things about speaking. Speaking means expression. We speak every day. We meet with people every day. How do you engage your listeners? How do you improve on it? These are listed in the discussion. So, as we move ahead in our day-to-day activities, make sure you speak well. Make sure you engage your listeners so as to have a positive feedback while making any form of conversation. If you like this video, make sure you comment in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Till I meet you in the next video, keep speaking efficiently. Bye.